an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Amma ba'du fa'uzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. This is study number 2 of the Ramadan daily Quran studies for the year 2022, presented by myself, Zahid Aziz, on behalf of the MD Anjuman Nishat Islam, Lahore, UK. And the title of this study is Fasting in Islam, Its Purposes. And I will begin with reciting the same verse of the Holy Quran as I did in the first study. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyamu kama kutiba alal lazina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. O you who believe, fasting is prescribed for you as it was prescribed for those before you, so that you may guard against evil. The Quran, chapter 2, verse 183. The first purpose of fasting is to enable us to develop and strengthen our powers of self-control. This means that we become more able to resist wrongful desires and bad habits, and therefore guard against evil, as mentioned in this verse. In fasting, by refraining from the natural human urges to satisfy our appetites, we are exercising our ability of self-restraint. The more you exercise any ability or skill, the more developed it becomes in you. Then the power of self-restraint developed through fasting must be applied in normal daily life to bring about self-improvement. The self-restraint isn't only during the fast itself. Seeking food, drink, and sex are the basic, most deeply ingrained instincts of an animal, including human beings. Therefore, in fasting, we are tested with having to show control in the face of the strongest possible inner urges that we have. Fasting is a reminder that real and true human life is something higher than satisfying physical desires. That real and true life is attained by connecting the human soul with God and by having sympathy for those who are in need and practically helping them. Fasting creates a feeling of nearness to God. We make a promise with God to refrain from certain actions until a certain time. No one can find out if we broke that promise, but it is only God who can see us all the time. That feeling that God can see us all the time is therefore intensified in our hearts during fasting. Now, people these days are very concerned, and rightly so, about the gathering of their personal information by human agencies such as governments or internet companies, etc. But people aren't generally concerned about surveillance by God, by Allah. And this is what He says in the Holy Quran. Allah bal tukazzibuna bid-din wa inna alaykum lahafizin kiraman katibin ya'lamuna ma taf'alun, which is, no, you call the judgment a lie, and surely there are keepers over you, honorable recorders. They know what you do. Chapter 82, verses 9 to 12. And then again, وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ وَنَعْلَمُ مَا تُوَسْوِسُ بِهِ نَفْسُهُ وَنَحْنُ أَقْرَبُ إِلَيْهِ مِنْ حَبْلِ الْوَرِيدِ. And it continues later, مَا يَلْفِظُ مِنْ قَوْلٍ إِلَّا لَدَيْهِ رَقِيبٌ عَتِيدٌ. And the translation is, and certainly we created man, or the human being, and we know what his mind suggests to him, and we are nearer to him than his life vein, the vein which sustains his physical life. He does not utter even a word, but there is by him or next to him a watcher, one who is watching, a watcher at hand. This is chapter 50, verses 16 and 18. And then again, يَحْسَبُونَ أَنَّ لَا نَسْمَعُ سِرَّهُمْ وَنَجْوَاهُمْ بَلَىٰ وَرُسُلُنَا لَدَيْهِمْ يَكْتُبُونَ. Which is, or do people think that we do not hear their secrets and their private discussions? Yes, indeed. And our messengers who are with them write them down. Chapter 43, verse 80. I can't here go into the details of what these messengers are, but these are said to be recording angels. But anyhow, whatever might be the explanation of that, what it means is that God has vastly more information on us than any power or agency in the world can obtain. And moreover, the information he has on us is fully complete and accurate without mistakes and errors. So who then is more to be feared, God or some agency of human beings? And Allah says in connection with fasting in Ramadan, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي أَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي وَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْشُدُونَ. And when my servants of God, ask you, that is to say the Prophet Muhammad, concerning me, concerning God, so this is Allah speaking, and when my servants ask you about me, surely I am near. I answer the prayer of the supplicant when he calls on me. So they should hear my call and believe in me, that they may walk in the right way. Chapter 2, verse 186. And in the Holy Quran, God speaks of himself in the singular by saying I, when, in those cases, when he wishes to show his closeness to us. Otherwise, generally, we, the plural, is used. Now, God is near in any case, whether we feel it or not. A person can realize this fact that God is near through prayer. In particular, prayers during the month of fasting, when the idea of closeness of God is in the mind of the person fasting. Now, God takes the initiative in answering prayers, as stated here. I answer the prayer of the supplicant when he calls on me. God takes the initiative and says that man in response should answer the call of God. And answering the call of God means to believe in and act on his teachings. So here, God is holding out his hand for man to grasp. Therefore, closeness to God should not just be a vague feeling in a person's heart and mind. That closeness must be manifested in action by walking in the right way out of belief in God. It is important to remember that fasting in Islam does not just consist of refraining from eating and drinking, but in fact from every kind of selfish desire and wrongdoing. The fast is not merely a physical fast of the body, but more importantly and essentially, it's a fast of the spirit. The physical fast is a symbol and outward expression of the real inner fast. A person who is fasting is really saying, I am refraining from all wrong actions that I desire to do. I'm refraining from all those wrong actions by refraining from my deepest physical desires. And in this connection, the Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has said this: the person who does not give up uttering falsehood and acting according to it, God has no need of his giving up his food and drink. This is in Sahih Bukhari, Hadith number 1903. This then is the end of study number 2. Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka antas samiul alim wa tub alaina innaka antat tawwabur rahim. Amin.